Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Manchester United are preparing for one of the most seismic transfer windows in the club's history. The brutal truth: no one is safe. From the captain to the academy stars, every player could be sold, and it's all to fund a dramatic reshaping of the squad after an abysmal season that saw United miss out on Europe altogether. First, the headline-grabbing deal: Matheus Cunha is joining Manchester United. The Red Devils are set to trigger the Wolves striker's £62 million release clause at the end of the season. Cunha's energy, versatility, and Premier League experience have made him an immediate target under Ruben Amorim, who sees him as a key figure for next season's attack. But even as the first domino falls, the tension behind the scenes is intense. Bruno Fernandes, the captain, has admitted he is open to leaving Old Trafford if the club decides to cash in on him. In an emotional post-match interview after United's 1-0 Europa League final defeat to Tottenham in Bilbao, Fernandes said, "I've always said I will be here until the club says to me that it's time to go. If the club thinks it's time to part ways because they want to do some cashing in or whatever, it's what it is." United's crushing defeat to Spurs not only ended their European dreams for next season, it also slashed potential income by over £100 million. With Sir Jim Ratcliffe warning of financial strain and potential PSR breaches, the club is on red alert. Transfermarkt reports that United's squad value has collapsed by a staggering £407 million compared to what the club originally paid. Let's put that into perspective. Harry Maguire, once an £85 million signing, is now worth just £13 million. Antony has dropped from £85 million to £17 million. Casemiro, £70 million when he signed, is now valued at just £10 million. Even the likes of Sancho, Mount, Shaw, and Onana have seen their values tumble dramatically. With that in mind, it's no surprise that United are reportedly willing to listen to offers for nearly every player in the squad. The rebuild won't be cosmetic, it's going to be a full-blown overhaul. As if that wasn't enough, United have also been dealt a blow in their pursuit of Liam Delap. The highly rated 22-year-old striker is being tracked by Chelsea and Newcastle, with Delap reportedly prioritising clubs that can offer European football. After missing out on the Champions League and all European competitions, United are falling behind in the queue for top young talent. Meanwhile, Victor Gyökeres has spoken about his future, and it's clear he has one eye on the Premier League. The Sporting CP striker, who scored a hat-trick against Manchester City earlier this season, has been heavily linked with both United and Arsenal. But with Arsenal in the Champions League and financially stronger, they're currently in pole position. Gyökeres said this week, "We'll see what the future holds. Football is like that. You never know what's going to happen." The 26-year-old Swede has a gentleman's agreement with Sporting that would allow him to leave for £55 to £60 million, this summer significantly less than his €100 million release clause. But out of respect, he's asked all interested clubs to wait until after Sunday's Portuguese Cup final before making a move. Now, despite the chaos, Ruben Amorim still has the board's backing for now. After the Europa League defeat, he told the media, "If the board and the fans feel I'm not the right guy, I will go the next day without any conversation about compensation." That bold statement has sparked debate among pundits, with Paul Merson suggesting Amorim doesn't want to stay. He told Sky Sports, "When you say you'd leave tomorrow without compensation, that tells me you want to be put out of your misery." Still, Bruno Fernandes offered public backing for his compatriot, saying, "We all agree that he's the right man. The results haven't been there, but I don't think there will be a better person to come in." But with United now facing another summer of uncertainty, the bigger question is, will Amorim get the tools and time to turn this around? For context, United finished 16th in the Premier League, their worst ever top-flight campaign. They've been knocked out of every cup competition, and morale is at an all-time low. Brennan Johnson's goal for Spurs in Bilbao not only won them a trophy, but underlined how far United have fallen. Even the club's share value has plummeted 60% in the past year. Financially and competitively, United are wounded, and the road back looks steep. but there is hope. Youngsters like Kobbie Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho, and Lenny Yoro remain highly rated. And if United can trim the dead wood, reinvest smartly, and retain leadership like Fernandes, a new foundation can be laid. So, United fans, what do you make of all this? Would you sell Bruno for a £100 million offer from Al Hilal? Should Amorim stay despite the poor results? And is Victor Gyökeres the striker to lead the line next season? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Ruben Amorim has made it clear if Manchester United want him gone, he'll walk. No payout, no drama, just honesty. After United's crushing Europa League final loss to Spurs and their worst ever Premier League season, Amorim says it's about faith now. If the board or fans feel I'm not the right guy, I'll leave tomorrow, he said. But he's not quitting, and he still believes he's the man to lead the rebuild. Luke Shaw echoed that support, admitting this season hasn't been good enough and praising Amorim for seeing the bigger picture both on and off the pitch. United are at a crossroads, and the next move could define their future. Ruben Amorim said he will leave Manchester United without a payoff if the board feel he is not the right man for the job. Amorim said he still believes he is the right man to lead United, despite last night's agonising Europa League final defeat to Spurs and the club's worst ever Premier League season. The 40-year-old Portuguese coach claimed now is the time to keep faith with him, despite such a poor season. But he said he would have no issue if United decide it is time to part ways. I have nothing to show to the fans, so at this moment it's a little bit of faith, said Amorim. So let's see. I'm always open. If the board and the fans feel I'm not the right guy, I will go the next day, without any conversation about compensation. But I will not quit. I'm still really confident in my job, and as you can see, I will not change anything in the way I do things. I am always really honest. But I'm not going to talk about the future. Tonight we need to deal with the pain of losing this match. It was clear we were the better team, but we managed not to score again. The guys tried everything to win the game, and I think we were better than the opponent. United defender Luke Shaw admitted this season has not been good enough and said it's hard to put into words, but for a club like Manchester United, it's not really good enough. All of us have to question ourselves tonight. Are we good enough to be here? Because this club, this season, it's not acceptable. We know that, and it's down to us. It's really tough to take. It's hard to say anything else, really. Apart from that, we have to look at ourselves. Something has to change. I think a lot of times this season we've gone into games not believing that we can win. That's why Ruben is 100% the right person. He knows and he can see day in and day out at the club, not just on the pitch but off the pitch, around the club. The standards, the mindset, he sees everything. He knows what he needs to change.